Hey, what is going on everyone? I'm the OPJellicent and we're battling here for week number 3 of UBL season number 3 up against Frosted. Once again, I don't know much about my opponent, but she seems very nice. Okay, so let's see what she brought right here. Incineroar, Suicune, Diancie. Okay, so the Incineroar is going to be an issue. No Zydog, okay. That makes my Grand Bull a lot more expendable right here. Just like last week, which is funny. My opponent did not bring them on that I brought Grand Bull for. Let's see, they have Zapdos. And then, what am I missing? Kartana. Alright, so regarding my lead matchup right here, I like the idea of leading off with my Hippo against Diancie. Doesn't sound like a terrible idea. I could see a Lantern lead from their part, would not be surprised. So the thing is, my win condition, my Latios, just has a ton of fun right here. All I really need is that Dragon Dance up and a bit of chip on the Incineroar, so how can I do that? I'm thinking my best lead right here is going to be my... I want to say my Rotom Heat, just like the other two games, but I also select my Hippowdon lead right here. I think they're going to lead off with the Lantern though, so I'm going to go ahead and lead off with... Yeah, I'm going to lead off with my Rotom and try to get a Toxic going on the Lantern right away. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. Lantern's annoying for sure. So let's do that. If they lead Lantern, it's kind of annoying. They could Water type move me, but I wouldn't be too stressed out about it. I'll just Toxic and we'll exchange. Like, the thing is, I have a Lure on my Granbull for the Kartana, so Rotom Heat can be my expendable mon if I want it to be. When I say Lure, I mean, like, I have the Babiri with the HP Fires, so I can always just use that for the Kartana if I want to. So I'm assuming we'll see Lantern, but we could see Diancie. Lord Zapmort. So that's Zapdos. Now, Zapdos could have Substitute. I do believe my Volt Switch should break the sub most of the time if it wanted to. And I don't really see a good Toxic response anyway, so I think I click that right here. The Diancie isn't Mega Evolved yet, so I don't really see it coming in. I'm just gonna go for Toxic. Substitute would be annoying for sure, but... as they go for their own Toxic, okay, so they connect. Ideally I can do the same, because this is their one fighting resist, and... if I can get a Toxic going on this, that's huge for Cobalion. I do connect as well, that's really nice. So now they could go ahead and U-turn or Volt Switch out into the Lantern, that would be a play. The play I want to make is probably... what do I want to do right here? We're both going to take a round of Toxic. That's fine. I could just go ahead and switch out into my Hippo, but that getting Toxic too would just be lame, so what am I going to do about that? I could also just go for the double Toxic, hard calling the Lantern coming in. Now the thing is, I kind of switched into Lantern using my Lottie, but I don't want that getting Thunder Waved, so it's kind of a tough scenario right here regarding what I want to do. I like the double Toxic play a lot. I'm going to do it. I'm going to just scout what she wants to do for a turn and go for a double Toxic. Let's see. U-turn, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt. Okay, so she's just cool with staying in right here, apparently. I'm going to take a little bit of damage. This is the turn I want to Volt Switch out because I unfortunately want to stay out of range of that Diancie with my Babiri. So we both take another round of Toxic right here. If this is the turn she goes Lantern, that would really suck, but we'll see. I'll go for Volt Switch. I don't know if I'm in range of that Diancie or not, but I am quite spit off. Let's see. I guarantee you this is the turn she does it, but... yeah, had I just Volt Switched right there, that would have been really nice. It's okay, though. Not too worried about it. It's just nice to have this thing on a timer, mainly, because it really helps out my what's it called? My Cobalion. Rocks are a priority too, especially now that this thing is on a timer. Those are going to be really valuable. So there's another Thunderbolt. I'll be able to take that and get out of here. I think I'm in range of the rock move, so that really sucks, but hey, what can you do? So I'm able to get out of here, weaken the Zapdos, which is really nice. Close combat will soon be a very spammable attack. Here I can just go Latios. Latios is my win con, but she doesn't know that. Incineroar does not get Pursuit. I already checked this before the battle, so I don't have to be like worried about that or anything. Let's go Gateway here. Gateway should be able to pick it off from this percentage. If I take a Toxic or a Discharge pair, I have Heal Bell on my Granbull if worst comes to worst, so I'm not very worried about that. And I think I just want to Ice Beam right here. I really don't see the need to predict right now, just due to the fact that I do have good Incineroar switch-ins, and I don't want this thing roosting up for no reason. So let's go ahead and Mega Evolve here. Hit him up with the Ice Beam. We've already seen lefties on this. So their two switch-ins would be like Diancie because it's not Mega Evolved, or Incineroar. So I guess Suicune could come in too, but that would be something I'm less worried about. Yeah, both my win cons look amazing right here, being my this thing right here, the Latios and then Scarf Cobalt. I definitely think Scarf Cobalt's looking more reliable at the current situation, just because I do have the Zapdos like at 50% and poisoned, so that's really helpful. I wonder what the Kartana is. That's going to be interesting. So she really made it a priority to weaken my Rotom Heat for late game Kartana, I guess, but I have that Lure and Granbull could take anything, unless they crit a Leaf Blade, which would be a little bit unfortunate, I'm not going to lie. So if they go Incineroar, I think I'll go Hippo. I don't think I'm going to go out into my Granbull, because that's going to be important now that my Rotom Heat's just really weakened for no reason. Let's see. So Withdraws is likely Incineroar coming in. That sounds like an Incineroar. That is an Incineroar. Okay, so nice to see this thing come in right here. It could easily go for U-turn, but I know it doesn't get Pursuit from what I checked. Knockoff would be annoying, though. Doesn't get Pursuit, okay. Maybe I should keep my Hippo, but at the same time I can slack off. Let's see, I go for the Ice Beam. There's no way I'm staying in this next turn, obviously. But just getting the chip on that for later is nice. So let's go ahead and see what I want to bring in now. My only plays are either sack off Rotom to get in Hippo, or I go Hippo now. If I go Hippo now, I'm really expecting the U-turn. That's really what I'm thinking is going to happen right here. I actually really tempted to go out into my Granbull, because I could potentially lure the Kartana, but if I were to lose my Berry, I could just be in a really tough spot from there, so maybe I shouldn't do that. However, there's not really a move Kartana can lock itself into that necessarily is going to do a ton of work, so maybe I should make the play. Okay, Hippo or Granbull? Hippo or Granbull? I'm just worried because Hippo is really good against Diancie. I think I'm going to go out into my Granbull and see what exactly she does. I'm thinking knockoff, but I just really hope she doesn't knock off and sees my Berry. That would suck. But either way, I'm going to get a player off, and she doesn't switch into that, so I'll take it. Knockoff or U-turn? Show me U-turn. U-turn, nice. Okay, good. So this could be my opportunity to lure a Kartana, if she brings that in. And that would just be a big offensive threat out of the way. I wouldn't mind that at all. Now I'm thinking Zapdos is about to come right back in, but even that's not the biggest deal. So she can calc from that and see that I'm defensive. I'm just curious, is her Kartana going to be like Babiri Berry or like Choice Band? How much would Choice Band do to my Granbull through a Babiri? Probably, I imagine I live it pretty easily. But it's not going to be intimidated, that's why I just want to check. Okay, get that level 100 thing out of here. Yeah, so I can easily take a Choice Band Kartana Smart Strike due to my Berry. HP Fire will kill unless she has like some sort of Assault Vest or Aqua Berry. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think Suicune could come in too. Could I break a Suicune substitute with this? Would I even stand on Suicune? I think I might go Manaphy on that. But then Toxic would be like annoying. What is this? Suicune, okay. So I like the Toxic play. I also like the play of just going for Player Off, but let me calc if that breaks first. Okay, Player Off is not going to break. If she has the investment that she needs to, Player Off is not going to break. So what do I want to do here? I like the Manaphy play a lot. I also like the idea of just... Like, the thing is, I have Heal Bell, right? I don't have to be too worried about Manaphy. I mean, about Toxic. But getting a Toxic off on her would be, like, amazing for me. How much would it suck for Manaphy to get worn down here? It would suck pretty badly. Maybe I should just go out into something like my Rotom Heat and then try to get in Manaphy on a Volt Switch. That sounds like a much better idea. Yeah, let's do that. If she scalds, she scalds, but I'm not gonna let my Manaphy get Toxic when I have a Rotom Heat that's pretty expendable, as I've already mentioned. Scald, okay, that's fine. It's annoying to lose my Rotom, but I get to keep some of my better Pokemon here, which is nice, and now I can apply the pressure, which is she couldn't. So now I get to bring in my... I could also go Lottie, but I'm gonna go Manaphy here. And I think the play I want to make is Tail Glow immediately. because she does not respond to this. I have the Wakan Berry in case she tries to go Zapdos and it's fast. So let's Tail Glow here. I'm thinking Toxic comes out, but I'm not going to be too stressed out about that. Substitute could come out too, which is why, or even Mirror Coat could be a thing. Roar is not that big of a deal to me, in all honesty. She does go for the Roar though, which is nice for her. Puts me back into Granbull. Okay, you know what? I'm Toxicing this thing now. I've seen Scald, I've seen Roar. I'm just going to Toxic it. I don't think she would be Scald or Rest. Sub here could be annoying. Let's see, do you sub here or not? I feel like you do sub here if you have it. It could be sub Protect, Scald, Roar. Man, a Scald Burn would suck, but I can heal Bellet, so there's that part. The Diancie has not Mega Evolved yet, which is great for my opportunity to set up rocks is the main thing right there. Let's see. Cobalion is going to be really good. Now the thing is, I don't want to get static paralyzed after this thing goes down. That would just be silly, so let's be really careful about that. Yeah, if I get a Brox and I get a bit of chip damage on that Incineroar, my Lottie easily wins this game. Because Incineroar is going to come in on rocks. It already took the Ice Beam from earlier. The thing is, what do I set up on? Zapdos, one of the two. Switches out here. Let's see, Zapdos. No, it's Incineroar again. Okay, so now this thing being on a timer is actually even better for me, the way I see it. Because this is another Pokemon that's stopping my Lottie. So let's go ahead and Toxic this guy. Nice. I'm able to not get rid of that thing. Well, not get rid of it. I get a Toxic on it. I wouldn't outspeed it. Knockoff could be annoying. Flare Blitz could be annoying. I see what she's trying to do. She's evidently trying to set up for that Kartana. I think I'm going to go out into my Hippo now this time. If Hippo loses its leftovers, I don't switch into Moonblast at all anymore. So never mind. That's not a good play. I like the Player F play more. Because if I get damage on this, that's all I need. And then I get up rocks later and try to make the Lottie work. I might need some damage on Lantern, depending on its set. How much would like my Earthquake do to have Lantern at +1? Latios. Gateway. Against the Lantern. So that's level 50. Okay, so Earthquake's blowing away a Lantern. It's probably not offensive Lantern, which is for whatever reason the thing that the calc puts in for me. I still do not got max HP. Yeah, okay, so that's cool. Best case is right here, she goes for the U-turn and brings out Zapdos, and that thing just takes a ton of damage because... Yeah, so there's the U-turn. Because that'll really open up my... Cobalion. So what does she bring in here? Like, Suicune damage would be nice for me. I'm thinking... Like, I've already shown that I'm willing to double Toxic. I have a feeling she's going Zapdos here. And I'll stay in and spam Player Off against Zapdos. I just want that thing weakened for Cobalion. Okay, so there's Zapdos, that's fine. I'm just gonna sit in here and spam this attack. Okay, I might change my mind. That did a little bit less than I would have liked. Maybe it's still worth it. Let's see how much Toxic... I mean, the Toxic damage is gonna eventually rack up. I'm just gonna continue doing it, I think. Yeah, let's Player Off again. Goes first. I just need to hit these attacks, and I'll keep the Zapdos weakened for Cobalion, which would be nice. No Static Pair would be nice, but I have a feeling it's going to happen. Okay, we hit. Nice. That'll put her down below half. There's the Static. Okay. To be expected. Do I Heal Bell this turn, then? Man, rip my damage on this guy. This is so sad. I worked hard for that damage, and now it's all gone. So I know for a fact she's going for another... I'm going to continue Player Offing, I think. And just ignore the Power for now. Is that smart? Because I think this thing being weakened is a lot better than anything else. I could Heal Bell here. Or do I go Hippo now? I've been holding off on Hippo for a while. I will definitely say that. The reason is, I don't actually think Hippo is, like... It deals with her Diancie really well. I'm gonna go Hippo, finally. I think that's smart. Just because I have Heal Bell, that's the only reason. I can come back in on something like Incineroar later and Heal Bell a Toxic off. I just want these rocks to finally be up. And the Sand Chip on this is going to be really nice too. Any chip on Zapdos is good. So there's the Thunderbolt. I'm able to get in on the correct turn. And essentially, she's threatened by a Roost here too. That's something I know. But the Toxic is 100% coming out this turn. That's the play, I think. So that takes a lot. I'm simply going to get up my rocks. Unlikely the Toxic. There's the Toxic. I do miss, unfortunately. If she does miss, unfortunately. A little bit lame, but I did have Heal Bell in the back, so I was willing to take that Toxic right there. And I kept my Granbull healthy just so I could Heal Bell later. So I don't know if she lives these rounds this turn. I'm assuming she does. Let's see. She does. Okay, so I have a decision to make. I have a feeling the Roost is coming. So I could Earthquake here. The Defog could also come out. I think my play is Earthquake, because I just don't want this thing roosting up at all. And if it Toxics me, I was already willing to let that happen. There's the Roost. I did Earthquake just anticipating this right here. So I can go ahead and Earthquake and hit it for super effective damage. That would be nice. And that'll make sure this thing's dead. So Zapdos is out of the game now. Yep, Zapdos is gone. That's really good for me. So Suicune has shown what? Scald, it's shown Roar. What do I think the last two moves are? Sub would be like a really frustrating set to deal with. I also need to start getting in Cobalion and just click close combat whenever I can. That's going to be important. What does she bring in here? I guess, yeah, Suicune's the thing. Yeah, there's Suicune. So the thing is, my Granbull's already Thunder Wave. I just want to calc how much a Scald is doing to it. Because, like I said... No, I don't think I can go out into that at all. I'm just going to go Manaphy again. I'm just going to keep my Granbull for that HP Fire. I think that's the smartest option. And I just want to try to get damage on this here. Yeah, Toxic Mist really sucked because she has ways to force my Granbull to stay out of the field, which would have let the damage rack up, but I would have never let this thing get weakened. Like, the moment that Toxic goes off, I spam Earthquake till that dies, and then I switch out immediately. And then I should still be able to take on the Diancie at that point. So I'm able to get out of here. Let's go ahead and bring in my Manaphy once again. Toxic? What are we seeing? Scald again. Okay, she clicks Scald a lot. Burn would be unfortunate. I kind of wish I was a Rindo Berry at this point. That would have been a lot better. So Rose's going to take some Sandstorm Chip, which is honestly better for me. She's already shown that she's willing to roar me out. I think I'm just going to Energy Ball this time. She doesn't switch into that attack. Yeah, I'm assuming we'll see Roar or Toxic or something like that. The thing is, I've maxed my items. She doesn't know that I'm not Rindo. She knows I could be Wakan. I mean, I could be Rindo for all she knows, but I'm not. I'm Wakan. If I was a Rindo, this thing would just tail glow up and like do so much work right here. It's actually not even funny. Setup fodder. I don't have a ton of setup fodder. That's what I'm worried about. It's one of the two water types. That's all I can set up on. I can't set up on Diancie, obviously. Can't. I could set up on a choice-locked Kartana. Scarf Kartana. If I want to know if it's Scarf Kartana, which is why Scarf Cabalion's so good. If that's her way of revenging Scarf Kartana, that's really nice for me here. She does switch out. What is this? She went Hard Cart. Okay. So this is what I was talking about. Had I been the other set, that would have been nice. I get a crit as she comes in. I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. She was in range of everything that I already had. Do I potentially risk Cabalion's Scarf getting knocked off? If I were to come in and do that, could I take the Sacred Sword after, is what I'm wondering. Or do I just pivot Granbull here? Is that a smarter idea? Could go Granbull, get the Intimidate off, and then go out into my Cobalion after and click Close Combat. That sounds like a much better plan, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. That sounds a lot more tempting. Timid cart could be an issue, actually. If she sows SD right here, that would be a thing. I don't think she's SDing. I really don't. She may double out into something like Lantern, trying to scout for my Rindo Berry. I don't know yet, but... Lantern's like the least of my worries right here. She does double out trying to scout for a Rindo Berry. That's smart. She goes Lantern. That is indeed a Lantern right there. So this could be my chance to heal Bell. I don't know if I want to do that right now. I think my best play is simply to... I don't know, like I could play her off this into range of close combat. Sounds like an idea. I think Volt Switch is coming out, if I had to guess. So, what do I want to do here? I think play her off is smart. I do like the idea of it. I'm just worried about the situation it'll put me in versus her cart. I also do think that switching out into my Latios is a smart idea. But if it gets Thunder Waved, that would be like super bad. The thing is, I'm worried about the heal Bell because if I let my other Pokemon get status and this never gets the heal Bell off due to its own status, that would be like super lame. So I'm just gonna play her off. Okay, if I were to go Lottie, how much damage am I doing? Let's just make sure that I'm not, you know. Okay, so Earthquake's actually doing a lot, if I'm looking at this correctly, but Scald Burn would be like really bad. I think I play her off this. I'm gonna play her off. Discharge is fine. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. If I go out into my other Pokemon and they get status, that would be like really bad. So I play her off here. I'm able to break through and get a pretty nice chunk on that. At this point, I have to let Granville go down because if I... No, I can't do that yet. Because it can still heal Bell on instant. I think my play is going to be Hippo here. Do I make that offensive play into Hippo? No. I think I go Lottie. And if anything, I'll go for the Scarf Cobalion win this game. I'm throwing out Lottie now to get my Mega off. Because I have Earthquake, I can hit everything with Earthquake. Okay, I really hope she doesn't Discharge Para / Scald Burn me. These 30% are really what's gonna... When did I Mega? Completely forgot when I Mega'd. Okay, this is a big turn right here. Does she Discharge Para? She doesn't. Okay, that makes things interesting here. So my play is obviously Earthquake. I have to click that here. Because it'll 2-hit KO instant coming in. I'm not going to stand on instant depending on the damage because it could be... I don't actually remember what we saw it do earlier. I'm pretty sure we've seen it U-turn out twice, meaning it's probably just Choice Scarf. What I think she's going to do is sack off her... I think she's going to go instant into Diancie right here if I had to guess. But yeah, Lottie's looking really primed right now, especially with the rocks up. The one thing that I would have liked to have was Suicune a little bit lower, but Suicune does not threaten Lottie at all. That's with what it's shown so far. Scald Roar. So I get to knock out the Lantern here. That's pretty cool. Lantern is gone. That's really nice. She either goes Diancie and plays... Well, actually, I guess if she would be playing for a tie, I could have the Steel move for all she knows. I don't know if she lives Earthquake too, so... Resurrection. There it is. This is why I kept my Hippo here. So Hippo's coming in no matter what and clicking Earthquake. That'll get the... I think that'll force out Suicune and effectively get the damage that I've always wanted. Yep, Hippo's here for this. Her own rocks could be a play too. I wouldn't be surprised. If it comes down to it, could my Cobalion take a hit from Scarf Kartana? Kartana. Sacred Sword, get that damage out of here. 220%. 61 to 72, so I can easily take that. Let's see, I'm expecting Moonblast. I could see rocks, but... Yeah, she went all in with this tie right here. Had I been HB Steel and I just won the tie, that would have been a wrap, but... Okay, let's see. Moonblast? Moonblast. So I'm gonna eat this up. I have... Unless she crits me. Yeah, but I take that just fine due to the Spidaf I put on this guy. And I'm just gonna slack off, I think. Because I want to keep this for the thing later. And I still have Manaphy every time for the Suicune, so I'm not afraid of that coming in. Let's just slack off. As tempting as the Earthquake is to get rid of one of the big win cons for her, I don't think she stays in here. I think she goes Suicune. Magnet Rise is cool. But I clicked slack off first. Alright, so I'm able to get back up to a good amount of health right here. I wish I could like whirlwind myself out. That would be kind of neat. So that's cool tech. I really wish I carried something else to hit this. But yeah, I'm doing nothing here if I stay in. So I have to go out into something. Grand Bull here going down, I think. Let's just be careful before I make a rash decision here. Yeah, Grand Bull, that's it for you. I'm sorry, Grand Bull. At least you got to attack this week, I'll give you that. Last week it literally just came in and died to a couple things. So now I know my Hippo is hard-walled by Diancie. So what was meant to be the counter is no longer the counter. Which is sad. So I have two plays here, to go Cobalion or go Manaphy. I like the Manaphy play a lot more than the Cobalion that I'm thinking about going out into. Just because Cobalion invites in Suicune, which actually is not even bad, because then I get in my... Let's go Manaphy. I do think Manaphy is a much better play. And honestly, I think I just Surf every time. Yeah, Surf always here. She could stay in for the damage, but then she would be losing one of her better ways of controlling speed. I wouldn't be surprised if she does it though, because if she switches out, then she's just letting me preserve my health, which would like in turn let the Rindo Berry not be a thing anymore. Which would let the Rindo Berry last had she switched out, obviously, is what I'm trying to say here. So assuming that's offensive Incin, Latios can win this game. I just need to get the correct positioning for it as soon as I can. Oh, you Mega Mixed. Cortana's in range of my close combat, unless it's Choppleberry, but even if it is... Actually, if it's Choppleberry, that's bad, because I would take defense drops and then she Sacred Swords me, which would be, like, super interesting. Alright, so I have the momentum right here. She has to decide, does she let Diancie go down or switch out into one of her Mons? I think she should let the Diancie go down and Moonblast, just to ensure that Cortana can break through it reliably after. I don't know what's going through her head. But yeah, the trick against Cortana here is, I have the speed control for it, I just need to make sure I keep all the Pokemon that I need to make sure that... What does she got into? Does this live? I have a feeling this dies. From that percentage, at least. With Rocks plus Surfs, I think this knocks it out, and based on... Well, actually, that was an Energy Ball crit earlier, maybe I'm wrong. Oh, it eats it up, okay. So, I think my best play is Hard Hippo, now that I see that it gets hard walled by the guy right here. The thing is, I don't want her getting an SD up and then boosting and all that. That would be unfortunate, but I do like the Hippo play a lot. If she SDs though, and... Okay, is there a way I can lose if I just stay in? Because how much is Diancie taking for my close combat? I think I need to keep this for the Diancie. So I'm gonna go Hippo right here and just hope that the SD doesn't come out. And if she does SD up, I just gotta hope it's not timid. That's the idea. Just don't be timid, Cart, and we'll be all good here, Frosted. The SD speed boosting set would be like the scariest thing right now. That's a good win con for her. If she SDs up, I might go hard Cobalion on the Leaf Blade. But yeah, Hippo is like super expendable now that I've seen that her Diancie just switches in and doesn't care. That's for sure. Yeah, that's definitely what I see in this. Okay, so if I go Hippo and she SDs up, am I going hard Cobalion is the thing. I really think I do. So I switch out right here. Do we see SD or do we just see like a Leaf Blade? What are we looking at right here? Smart Strike. Do I preserve this? Whoa, okay, that looks banded. The Powdon? I just want to double check. That's not banded, never mind. How much did she do? Let's assume I got 10 back. Yeah, so that's not banded. She could easily go for a Sacred Sword here, or even a knockoff. Am I going to risk my Cobalion coming in? So here's the thing that I'm okay with. Even if the Cobalion comes in and takes a knockoff, I live the Sacred Sword after no matter what attack she goes for. The one bad thing would be if she were to Sacred Sword right here. Do I just Earthquake? Earthquake is so free. Leaf Blade is so free for her. Let's think about it. If I Earthquake and then go Cobalion, she goes down. I think I have to go Cobalion now. I think I do. Because This can still check Ensign at late game. And I need the sack fodder for when I... Because she withdraws, okay. Ghost Patronus. So this is a really interesting scenario, because this is a really good win con for me. However, if I weaken this, I could win the game with Latios instantly. Now, I would be playing around with Scald Burns, because if I get burnt, I'm not knocking out Incineroar. That's just a given. So I have to make a decision. Do I go out into my Diancie? Do I go out into my Manaphy again, which I've done every single time, or do I close combat? I think if I spam close combat and were to not get burnt, that would be fine. I'm gonna make the Manaphy play. I think she Scalds. And I want to force my Energy Ball kill here. Or at least I want to force the Incin back, and there's the Scald. Alright, so I keep my Cobalion on the back. There's no point in letting that win con with the late game Energy Ball get in a bad spot right here. So now there's no brainer right here. I click Energy Ball, and I try to force out Incin if possible. I think she's just going to stay in at this point until she dies. That seems like a good idea for her. But I'm honestly not sure. She can do anything right here. She could go back to the Diancie if she's expecting that to live in Energy Ball. If Diancie comes in and lives, that would be unfortunate, but it would put it in range of close combat, so I would never have to click Iron Head this game. And Suicune would have to take another round of rocks coming in after anyway, so that would be fine. I'm thinking she's Scarf Kartana. Oh, Incineroar has a Toxic on it too. I forgot about that. That's going to really help me out, because if it comes in later... I think she knows she has to keep the Incineroar just for my Lottie here. I think that's what she's keeping it for. It's just about nailing down her Scarfers. If Kartana's not Scarf, that's good for Cobalion. If Incineroar is Scarf, that's bad for Lottie, but not after I have a Dragon Dance up. Which, at this point, I'm only getting up a Dragon Dance on this Suicune, is something that I see as well. Or, as I said, a Choice-Locked cart. So she switches out. What comes in here? That was the Incin. Okay, so Incin is now here. I'll finally get to know whether this thing is locked in any way or not. Because I put speed on this. I put like a tiny bit of speed to ensure I outsped it. So I think what I'm going to do is Surf. And then go out into my Cobalion and Close Combatter. Yeah. Let's just Surf here. No brainer click the way I see it. Like, there's no point in trying to dance around this guy. She's not Scarf, so I'm able to knock out the Incin. That's really good. She has, what, 3 months left? Yeah, 3, so... I guess Diancie or Cart could come out. I would expect it to be Diancie. Actually, I might not be in range of Diancie. She has to go Cart. I might keep Manaphy just to take a hit from Diancie in the worst case scenario. I don't think, actually, if I go hard Cobalion, I feel like that's a choking play. I feel like if the Kartana comes back in, I make that exact same switch back to Hippo. Hippo's super useless at this point. She has a Kartana Diancie, which walls it, and a Suicune left. So there's this guy. I just sack off my Hippo. Unless, do I think it's the same scenario? Do I think SD comes out? I could see SD coming out right here. If I lose this, can I beat the Diancie? I could beat it with the tie. I could also beat it with Scarf Cobalion. Yeah, I think my play right here is stay in. And Surf. And hope she's not S. And just in case she's SD. If she SDs right here and I switched out, I would lose the game. Let's click Surf. There's the Leaf Blade. Okay, so we expected this. So down goes my Mon. Attack raises, okay. I have a decision, because if I went Lottie right here, and I were to hard call her being locked in, I think I know a way I can see whether she's locked in or not. Let's go Cobalion first. If she switches out, I think she's not locked in. So Cobalion comes in right here. I simply click Close Combat every single time. And then, at this point in the game, I need to find the positioning for that Dragon Dance to go up. What do I have? I have Cobalion, I have Lottie, and I have... no, I have Hippo. I don't know why I was thinking Manaphy. I'm just gonna calc close combat against Diancie. I never actually did that. Cobalt Stallion against Diancie. It is Roar on the Suicune. I forgot about that part. She's not Scarf. She never was Scarf, so I made the correct play. I for sure made the correct play. So what comes in here? She has Suicune Diancie. One of the two is coming in. It's gotta be Diancie, right? It's gotta be Diancie. So I gotta sack my Hippo and come back in on the Iron Head. Come back in and click Iron Head, sorry. Diancie's gonna take a lot of rocks, so... I think at worst this comes down to a speed tie, but I'm gonna do my best to find a situation where it doesn't. Calm Mind Suicune's not a threat. Okay, Resurrection comes in. This is definitely the Diancie. There it is. I have to sack off my Hippo. Yeah, Hippo's always at play. And then I come back in with Cobalion. I click Iron Head. Alright, so she's going to, I'm assuming, just go for the Moonblast here. That seems like it would be the most sensible thing to do. Substitute could be really cool. Do I think she's Sub-Magnet Rise? Moonblast. If she's Sub-Magnet Rise, I think she wins. I wish I could, like, Whirlwind myself out. That would be cool. Such Earthquake. She could Magnet Rise just to, like, take your Lottie's EQ. I wouldn't be surprised about that. But I don't think she's going to risk me having secondary coverage at this point. Ooh, is she Magnet Rise or Rock Polish? There's so many cool win cons this Diancie can run right here. That involve Magnet Rise. Like, if she's into a Rock Polish Magnet Rise, I think she has the game. She knocks me out, okay. So this is looking like a speed tie game, as much as I hate to say it. I'm gonna go out into my Cobalion here. And click Iron Head. But I have a feeling this is gonna be a speed tie game. Actually, wait a minute, no, it's not. Let's Iron Head here. If I were to get this Diancie to take another round of rocks, it should die to close combat, and maybe I can spam close combat for the win more safely. That's the minus defense, though. Let's get rid of the minus defense. Close combat is doing 60 to 70 without the minus defense. So she has to call. Does she switch out or not? I know she is. She's definitely going to do it, I think. It would make no sense not to. Unless she thinks Suicune can solo the rest of my team. Which I don't think it can solo my Lottie even with Calm Mind, because I'll have this in the back to close combat, and I'll always switch out, obviously, into my Lottie immediately. Okay, so let's find out right here. What are you doing, Frosted? I have a feeling the switch is coming. I just hope we don't DC now. That would suck. There's the switch. Okay, so she does withdraw. Very obvious withdraw. I think she can force the speed tie game right now if she were to... Okay, let me just make sure of one thing. If I were to get burnt by Scald here by trying to stay in, would I still... Do I double Iron Head? Okay, so I would still knock out Diancie even if I were to get burnt here. Because if I'm at, let me just put -2 instead of a burn on there. I still do 80 to 99 with -2. Let's stand in Iron Head once. She's staying in, okay. There's the Scald, okay, so she clicked Scald, okay, that's interesting. I think the game is mine, because if I were to switch out right here, I'm gonna switch out. If she switches out, I think the game might come down to... No, the thing is... I think she wins if she switches out and gets the tie correct. So I would obviously switch out first. Did she do it as well? She stayed into rest. That's fine. Rest isn't like the least of my concern. So, Psychic does kill the Dancy. Let me just make sure. Latios. Gateway. Psychic would kill Diancie. So that's not something I have to fear. Let's go for Psychic. I think if I get rid of this thing, the game is mine, obviously, because I would have it in range of... I mean, Cobalion just wins in the back, right? Sleep Talk. Scald Burn would be annoying, but... Actually, no, she can't win off a Scald Burn, can she? She does pull Scald, okay. Crit, Burn, okay. Doesn't really matter. My play is continue spamming, staying in Spam Psychic. Maybe she thought I was fully physical when she saw the Earthquake earlier, but I do have the Psychic right here. And it looks like it should KO the Diancie no matter what. So I Psychic. This will pick up the 3-hit KO, I believe. If it does look like that is the case. She pulls Scald again. Alright, that's fine. She's gonna get lefties, and I think a third Psychic should do the job. Let's Psychic one more time. She might switch out. She might think that's her only hope. She doesn't, though. Is she... Okay, her win con is hoping she lives this and getting a Rock Polish up. That would be the way she wins. Which I don't think... If she was Rock Polish, she would have gone for the Magnetize Rock Polish earlier and won the game. I don't think she is. So, depending on this tie, I could get a... Actually, wait a minute. Yeah, if she lives and goes for Rock Polish, she wins. Because of the Scald damage she got on my Cobalion. So let's see. This might just straight up die to Psychic too, depending on if I win the tie or not. Let's see. Psychic is going to come off right here, ideally. It's a tie. She does win the tie, but my Scarf Cobalion will secure this game. With the Iron Head. The miss definitely sucked on Toxic. I don't think it ended up mattering at all based on how she played it. I would have died to the same number of Moonblasts, and that would have been the exact same scenario, so... Scarf Cobalt Lion comes in right here. Let me just make sure I don't misclick and lose the game. Iron Head here. And that is going to be a 1-0 win for us. So we're 3-0 plus 3, which is interesting because... That'll knock it out. Because that's 3 wins in a row, and they're all in 1-0, so really good games in the UBL this season. Not gonna lie. Last week was Hexy. We were able to go ahead and take a 1-0 victory right there. I did hope you all enjoyed. Sorry about any distractions you may have heard in the background. Nothing I can really do about that, but yeah, we move on to be 3-0, very nice, and I will see you guys next week. Later.